call to prayer, a gathering of the tribes. Greetings, brothers and sisters. Saroth Mage going live. Who, David? Who, I walk. Greetings, brothers and sisters. Tonight will be different from the last couple of streams I have done. When I watched them back, hey, Graywolf. Yeah, I'm glad you did. I'm really glad you did. I'm sorry I missed your show. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to all of it, but I'll just maybe let a few, see if anybody else is going to join us. I like about 6 or 7 people. Welcome, Graywolf. Welcome, I Walk. Welcome, Samad. Different environment tonight. I'm at the Magic Cottage. It's a secret location in the wilds of Scotland. Can you hear me okay? I'm going to have to talk a little bit more quietly because my dear friend is in bed. Strange day, energetically. Strange night. It was 888 Lions Gate last night. So we take, okay, thank you, David. We take annual leave on like special holidays, equinoxes, solstices, and I knew very little about this Lionsgate thing. Thank you, Alex. But something was happening. So the plan was to take 7 dry grams of the same shrooms that I took last time, the Golden Teachers. So I travelled up. All day I had the feeling that I didn't really want to take them. You've got to fast. And I was really, really hungry the whole day. Hey, Pyramid. Nice to have you here, baby. So I was fasting the whole day, but I was so hungry. And we went to a place called the Findhorn Foundation. It's not far from here, and it was actually built by a woman, I think her name is called Eileen Caddy. And apparently I don't know her whole story, but she was there at where the Findhorn Foundation is now. It's like a spiritual new age kind of community. And she went into like a public toilet or something and suddenly saw a vision of the great god Pan. And it told her that it's all sand dunes and stuff, but that she could make the land fertile and they could grow crops and now they've got a thriving community, but it tends to be very rich, middle class white people, funnily enough. And every single time I go there, I get this weird reaction. I was fine in the shop. It's a very tiny little shop. And I don't know, it just makes me tense. And as soon as we left that place, I started getting this feeling of dread about taking the mushrooms. And I was like, no, you don't need them. You don't need them. You've had, this summer has been an incredible summer in so many ways. It's just like, I began it as this dude called Steve Ray, and I'm ending it as another dude called Saroth the Mage. Steve Ray is my real name. Yeah, there is something dark at Findhorn. They're very, very cliquey, and they're rude. If there's very narrow little walkways in this shop, and they will not move. They will not move aside. There's a weird vibe, and it just sets my energies all aflux. So, I can be difficult, and especially in this process I'm in at the moment, My internal dialogue is just shouting at me all the time, all these crazy, profound, well, I think they're profound ideas. And, you know, it did warn you the air grade is all about ego, mind. The Zealot grade was all about body, earth, Malkuth. So I started as a neophyte. You get to know the LBRP, the Lesser Banishing Pentagram Ritual, the middle pillar, just the very, very basic techniques. If you think you're willing to go on to the hard discipline of daily practice, you do the Zealoter grade, which is putting you in touch with Malkuth, which is earth. And as soon as I got into that grade, basically my whole life fell away. Yeah, kind of, yeah, very much. I think they see themselves as a kind of elite. And strangers are, you know, they're not admitted to the inner order. So I managed to get, I mean, I could have said no. I could have said no, I just don't want to take Calandal. How's it going, man? Good to see you. I could have said no, I don't want to take them, but a warrior shaman must keep his promises. And it was partly to get information about stuff that I don't need to talk about here. So I took I did all my rituals. I took the usual brew of, it was Golden Teachers we had, and it was 7 dry grams. And even though we'd vacuum pack them, it says to use them within 3 months. So we're getting close to that time. And there was only 7 left, so Lato let me have them so I could do this journey. Everything was normal. We boiled them up. And has anybody else noticed this with Golden Teachers, that we had I showed someone the photograph earlier on, when we brew them up, there's basically these little flakes of metallic gold just floating about in the water. It's totally bizarre. I'm wondering if that's why they're called Golden Teachers, because they've got actual gold in them. But that aside, everything seemed to be normal. I took the brew, and usually if you've been fasting and purifying and doing the rituals and stuff, it comes on boom within about 10 minutes. Vjumph. 10 minutes came, I felt the jumph, but then it just kind of went brrr. No raging hallucinations, no voices of the mushroom gods, no encounters with the pantheons of the Egyptian gods, the Norse gods, weird spirits, nothing. I kind of just lay on the settee and kind of fell asleep. I was listening to Seven Serpents. He did a fantastic couple of videos last night. And you know what? He really made me think about the way I'd behaved in the last 2 screams. Basically thumping my chest and banging my gong and boasting about people moving their tents. And, you know, I got caught up in the moment. And although at the time I didn't think that the mushrooms were having any effect at all, when I woke up this morning, did the rituals, horrible tension between me and Lato for some reason. I went outside, the sun was absolutely beaten down yesterday. It felt like autumn had come. It was the first chilly day we've had it since the middle of May, which is unheard of for Scotland. It's like this summer has been almost like I'm dreaming it. It's just been too good. There've been bumps in the road, but it's fantastic. And so I went outside and I noticed that I'd missed your stream, Graywolf. So I listened to it and I just thought, my God, it's like we're all having the same conversation. We're going through the exact same processes. We've all got our different little touches and twists. But I'm just feeling so much unity and so much love, common purpose, even though we're all over the map and our practices vary, you know, at the core we are the same. So humble Saroth would like to thank Seven Serpents and Graywolf for giving me a bit of a reality check. I loved your show today, Graywolf, and I loved Seven Serpents last night. Seven Serpents described himself as a juggernaut. And he wasn't fazed, he wasn't angry, he wasn't upset. he just laid it out absolutely better than I could with my sitting bull dog soldier stuff. So yeah, so I think, and it's also like it's always the day after, because the day after we always do the same walk. There's a walk through past there's the beach there, but you can go another walk and it takes you down to the river, and there's like wildlife everywhere. We saw seals. There's wildlife reserve, so there's birds, and like you said, Graywolf, I just try to lose myself in nature. But because, I mean, me and Lato have been friends now for coming up for 20 years, and we get on each other's nerves sometimes, and I've been so high with the reducing the diazepam, reducing, yeah, it's a great, reducing the diazepam, reducing the Suboxone, doing the intense daily work on the air grade, which, like I say, it makes you like the wind. You're fast, you're quick, but you can blow your. Think of the wind, think of its strengths, think of its weaknesses, and that's me at the moment. I am very ungrounded. Zealot grade's all about grounding. And it makes things worse before it makes them better. It has, like I keep saying, that the lightning struck tower is such a brilliant metaphor for everything, the process of magic, because it breaks down the tower, all your programs, your negative programs, your negative ego, the things that tell you can't do things, the thing that tells you that you've got to score today, that you can't find a job because what would I do? So I did get my Malkuth in order. I got a job. I worked hard at it for 2 years. Did not a painting, not a poem, no magic. But now I look back on it, as horrible as it was, I need to get that established. I needed to get that established. If I'd went straight onto the air grade, it needed to happen like it has happened. And everything's working out just tickety-boo. There may be, oh yes, I called tonight's, that's all I ever come up with, titles and like about 3 lines of notes. Sound of silence. What is the sound of silence? Nothing. And part of the stress today was, no, regret nothing, but learn from your mistakes. So today I'm in this synchronicity mesh where what I'm thinking is being talked by the guys that I'm listening to. It's almost like, I don't know, we're all just picking up on this weird wave of initiation. And it's the internet that's allowed this. Yeah. I was thinking, the first Renaissance, the historical Renaissance, was pretty much caused by, among other things, the printing press. And normal people became literate so they could read their own spiritual texts. The Bible was translated into common English for the first time. We didn't have to get our information from priests. The first thing that came out of the printing press were, it does look a bit like a sauna. No, it's actually a room in a very beautiful cottage in the Scottish hinterlands. So synchronicity mesh, I'd really been aware that I'd just been talking and talking and talking, and the YouTube thing, all I do is talk and talk and talk. And I think poor Lato was exhausted because, I was excited. I was like, oh, and he said this and then he said that. And she's not really that interested, to be honest. So I decided, I got an email from my dear frater. You know who you are. And it was about this, the sign of silence. Silence. So I thought, okay, today I am just going to be silent the whole day. I am not going to butt in every time Lato starts a sentence. I think it's conversation. She thinks it's butting in. So I just zipped it for the whole day. and it pretty much saved the day because we were heading for a major row. She's not my girlfriend or anything. I've got a girlfriend. Me and Lato have been split up for more years than we're together now. You know, she's like a sister, you know. And you argue with your sister, don't you? It is. It absolutely is. This YouTube thing has been an absolute catalyst for magical development. And you know the reason why I started this YouTube channel in the first place? Although I think there are deeper reasons, you know, these gods of initiation, whatever this initiatory force is, it knows what it's doing, but I don't. It's pushing me along. So that time, I'd been in CW's chat a few times, not that many times, you know. I suddenly put up my hand. Can I be in your live chat? Why did I do it? Why did I do it? I know why I did it now. But I'd made such a disappointing performance. Hey, Sam, how's it going? I was so bad on the CW Chanter show. I mean, it was the night that Occult Fan and Tom, both of them can talk up a storm. And I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for the speed and pace of the conversation. And when I watched it back, I was horrifyingly embarrassed about my non-performance. Yeah, well, I kind of learned it from you, Graywolf, because I came out of the temple feeling absolutely like, oh God, just, you know, when your energies are really clashing with someone. Hey, Seven. Yeah, no worries, man. Oh, it's Mrs. Seven. Yeah, I know. I deliberately kind of sleep like, we went out for a long walk, like I say, all of which I did in absolute silence, and just let Lato speak for a change. And she actually, I am a bit more relaxed. But not lately. I've been high as a kite lately because, like I say, I'm coming off drugs that dampen your whole soul down. You know, for 20 years I've been addicted to this shit, and I can finally see the end in sight. I've worked out that it could probably be off everything in about 3 or 4 months, and then you will really see progress. But like I say, the email from, I'll tell them it was Frater Lux, as you Americans would say. He sent me the sign of silence thing, and after watching Graywolf and 7 Serpents, it just became so clear what I had to do was just shut my mouth, enjoy nature, let Lato talk for once. And it's been a very rocky month energetically. The blood moon, we don't need to tell you what happened with the chaos. Yeah, Sam, you really should be getting back to your videos, you know. You're so good. Beer again for a Friday night. Us mages don't have to be squeaky clean, you know. I wrote down here, Shrooms, weed and booze, the Holy Trinity. I work hard. I work hard at my work. I work hard at Magic. And on my time off, I like to get high. Sometimes really, really high. And there's no harm in it, you know. It's only beer. It's only the beer in the plant teachers, the lesser sacrament, as I call weed, the greater sacrament, which I call shrooms. I might have to put on my glasses, guys. You know I hate them. Why don't I just get myself a pair of glasses that I actually like? Because I don't really like any glasses. See? Immediately nerds me up. So, what a month, eh? But it's been positive in many ways, you know. It's you know, there's been frenetic energy. There's been, yeah. I mean, I have done more this summer than I've ever done previously in my life, because I used to do it maybe 3 or 4 times a year as like almost a mental health check, you know, because it does let you work through your demons and your, oh, is Robin in? Fantastic. Simple pleasures, exactly. You know, a little bit of beer and a puff on my e-cigarette because I've got no skins and weed left. I've got tobacco but no skins. Has anybody got a skin? Can you 3D print it and send it over? So yeah, the energies have been intense this month, and we saw the fallout from that, but I'm not returning to that subject. That is finished with. Let's go on positively. It's a new moon. It's a new day. It's a new dawn. It's a new world. New life, I think it is. Yeah. I've got nuts. You know, you can always find one skin. Not tonight, I couldn't. So, and this is the first stream I've done that I haven't been absolutely stoned out of my box. So I've got a feeling it's not going to flow quite as well as some of them do. But I'm just really checking in, you know. I will get round to doing proper shows. I'm thinking we should do a big hangout on a really controversial subject that will get everybody talking. And yeah, it's Mars, yep. And it did feel, I felt a lot calmer today. But what happened with the trip? It just 7 grams would normally, you know, the heroic dose is supposed to be, oh no, I use tobacco, we do. Do you just roll them with all weed? That must be hell of a strong, man. The tobacco is obnoxious stuff, it really is, you know. So, yeah, so I took the 7 grams and I expected to be blasted into, you know, sometimes it is a bit of an ordeal, especially if you've got like opiates and stuff in your system, because it tends to just pull them all out. And once the trip's over, you're left like strung out to death and you've got to take more and blah, blah, blah. So I was waiting and waiting and waiting. And like I say, I got a small lift and then nothing. No visuals. I felt kind of warm and fuzzy and a little bit altered. But nothing. Explain that. Do you think? I don't know. I like to get into that place where I don't. I mean, it must be painful to watch sometimes, but I really enjoy just going from topic to topic to topic to topic, and I know I don't finish points, and I know I drift off, and I'm getting used to people coming into chat, and I don't fall off my seat with excitement every time somebody comes into chat now. But I mean, I've only done this is only my my 6th or 7th stream, so the first one I just oh my god it's but hey, I'm used to being the content producer now. So yeah, what happened to my trip? And then I came through, and we always kind of talk it through because one of us always stays straight while the other one. Hi, Robin. Beautiful to have you here. I think the idea. Well, oh, Rimsey, my God, Rimsey has come. Enjoy being. My God, you've made it too. What did I just say? I wouldn't get excited when people come in the chat. But Rimsey and Enjoy Being and Shadow, Sam Shadowzone, I Walk. Are there any non-moderators? Rimsey, I'm so thrilled you're here. I love that Illuminati Tarot that you did the other night. I'd buy it just to see the Golden Dawn characters. It's got McGregor's Mather and is it Moina, his wife? And Rimsey, I love you. You're so just a genuinely nice, kind, non-judgmental person. So Rimsey, welcome, and I hope you'll come. Yes, everyone is here. Amazingly. I still don't know why you come, but I'm so glad you do. So yeah, the mushrooms last night didn't really... I mean, I was higher before the mushrooms than I was after the mushrooms. And then Lato, who is... Yeah, Samuel and Moina, yeah. I love that bit. You're so funny. You are. So when I told her about it, she was like, you know what? That was your return trip. Hey, Oswald, I'll make you a moderator and you'll have to grow into the role. I won't really. There's not much responsibility being a mod on this page because nobody ever says anything nasty. We only get nice people in this chat. So yeah, this non-trip, and then I come through, and then Blato had the brilliant idea that that was actually the return trip, because I did kind of go into a sort of weird sleepy torpor for about an hour, and that may have been my transport home. So my thinking is that I've actually been pretty much tripping since the summer solstice, because there really was no Saroth the Mage. There was only this weird little guy called Steve Ray, who really hadn't got his shit together at all. I'm not saying I've got my shit together now, but it's more together than it was because of the daily practice. That is the key to everything, honestly. And that's why we are starting the order. And it is going to be a real order. It's going to do initiations. We haven't quite figured out how. Yeah. Oh, Persian Scribe. How are you? Great to see you here. See, this is a comfortable group. Up to about 12, 18, 20, but when it gets to like 60 people and the chat's just going brrrr, nobody gets to talk. And I really am thinking about, I'm not after subscribers. I'm never going to monetize the channel, so what is the point of trying to get extra subscribers and to take myself out of this beautiful, calm little group we've got? I'd love some Persian. Could I have some? 3D print it, please. And send drugs. Drugs, any kind of drugs. So, yeah, that was my return trip, and I did feel a lot calmer today, and I don't know if you guys missed it, but I took a vow of silence today, which is very hard for me because I just talk and talk and talk, and my internal dialogue just talks and talks and talks. And it gets tiring. It really does get tiring. Yeah, well, I mean, I wouldn't say no to being like Jordan Peterson popular, and then Budweiser would probably give me a few quid. I have noticed he does that, I noticed it once and now I notice it every time. He'll pick up a can of big brand, whatever it is, clearly show it to camera and put it down. Naughty Jordan. Although I do love him. He's a great man. Budweiser, it's the only beer, well, it's not the only beer I drink, but it is my preferred tipple. So I've got one there, one there. And when they're over, that's it, bedtime. I mean, it's almost light outside, guys. So the trip that I expected to be a raging dialogue with the forces of evolution and looking into my own DNA and all that kind of stuff, nothing happened. But maybe something did happen. This is the thing about magic. It's only when you get a couple of months past and you get a broader perspective on things, you can say, oh yeah, that caused that and that was that. At the time, it's just, you can't see the causality at all. Because I'm missing this. I will go into chat. In fact, if anybody's talking chat now and all. Oh yeah, we looky for just saying. But I'm so thrilled that, especially Rimsey, because yeah, you have to. I mean, it's the in breath and the out breath, isn't it? You're breathing out and you're creative and everything's flowing, and then at some point you need to take that breath in. My breath in was 2 years long, so hopefully my breath out will be 3 years long, and I'll just be super creative for 3 years. But nothing lasts forever. There will come a time when it dries up again and you need to reflect, read, gather more information, and then you're good to go again. But I must say that praxis on its own, I don't really go into speculation about cosmologies and all that, as you know. Although I do, but it doesn't come into the practice. The practice is just do the work and see what happens. You're getting a computer. You haven't got a computer, Glendale? You just use your phone? I'm just using my phone now, and it's much better than the new, supposedly, I thought it would work with my beautiful blue Yeti mic, but of course it doesn't. Chivalry. Is that like chivalry? Hey, Rimsey? See, this, I can't quite decide in which way I want to go next. It's got to be like maybe Enochian. I've even been toying with the idea of Ganesha. There's a lot of really interesting conversations on. I mean, YouTube is the new printing press, and it is going to cause a spiritual renaissance. I think we're all feeling it, aren't we? I mean, like I say, I always leave the rituals open. I invoke air, and then I invite you guys in. Cardinal Fixed Radio Live, Truest Trinity, we will blah blah. Fall over and start. Yeah, it's the lightning struck tower. You build up, you get zapped, and then you just have to build up again in a better way. Yeah, well, that's what's so great about magic. It's fun, but it is very profound, and it does cause inner change. It absolutely does. I mean, that people wouldn't do it in their hundreds of that. There's probably more people practicing magic on the planet now than there ever has in any time in history. Comment about yes, you. For when I first started making videos, it was painful for me to watch them back because I was like, oh my god, how many times do you have to say babies, or all those little verbal habits you have that you don't notice, but then in the mirror of I mean, I'm looking at myself now like it is a mirror, and that used to really unsettle me, but I am getting gradually more comfortable with it. It would be nice if I I am going to start, for a while I was all hung up on the notes thing, and then I realised that wasn't working for me, and when I watched Graywolf's just brilliant, the way he just talks and talks, that seems to work better, but I think a mixture of the two. So what have I actually written here? Yeah, so the sound of silence was the vow of silence I took today, which possibly saved a huge row between me and one of my best friends, because I cannot shut up. Every time she, I bet Reamsy gets results because he knows what he's doing. And I know he does. Yeah, so and it was, my mind was raging, and I just, it was very hard for me to not talk for the first hour or so. And then the more I got into it, I just started getting out of my own head, and we took binoculars with us, and we were watching, I was zooming in on just a single bird in flight and trying to watch it, and it was just beautiful, like a ballet. And I was thinking, well, air, birds, what could be more representative of the air grade than a beautiful, graceful bird? And the binoculars are just fascinating. They get you, you get close to nature without them knowing you're there, so you're just part of it. And everything has meaning when you're doing magic heavily. Every single thing, everything that you see, everything that you read, every YouTube video I play is just reinforcing what it's. I've heard the word echo chamber, but it's got negative. It's a positive echo chamber. It's like you're singing something out to the universe, and the universe is singing it back, and that's how you know. And this synchronicity thing, if you're getting loads and loads and loads and loads of synchronicities, that to me is a sign that there's this thing called the true will, and I think you do have a true will. I think people do have a destiny, and being a heroin addict for 20 years obviously wasn't my destiny. I don't know what my destiny is, but I know I'm getting closer to it, because I'm also getting this recurring feeling of deja vu, like this has happened before, this has happened before. And I think that's it, because you're not, deja vus happen when you're young. I listened to a whole radio show about it on Radio 4 or something. Very good, BBC Radio 4. I think also resonates with pantheism and also pantheism. Pantheism? And true hallucinations. Are hallucinations just crazy bullshit that your mind dreams up, and none of it. No, it comes from, at some point, especially with a large dose, you kind of, it's at least the collective unconscious. And there's bits of racial, I don't know what it is either, to be honest, David. Pantheism. I know what pantheism is. That's just a pantheon of what is it, David? Tell me. Resonant effect. Yeah, that's kind of more. Yeah, it's like everything has resonance, everything has meaning, and you keep getting it back at you. You know, it's not like seeing 111 on your clock twice a day. It's like Graywolf's. I was just in that place. I'd just come out of practice, and then Jill came in and did her practice, and we were clashing today. I'm telling you, our energies were spiky, and we were just we were ready to go. So I went outside, just got out as far as away as I could, sat at the front door. The sun was streaming in. I had my headphones, and I was listening to you, Graywolf, one of the wisest men on YouTube. If you're not already subscribed to Graywolf, North Shaman 369, go and do it now, because I love that man. And that's another thing. It's the real community here, the one I thought I was joining, or I now am joined, was a fucking fantastic, wonderful, beautiful, exciting place. I came from CW's chat, went on his stream, made a fool of myself, got my own channel, made some really bad videos. Wind and Earth, yeah, well, that's the first two grades in the Golden Dawn. Zealotr is your Earth grade, so that tends to shake up anything that's in your home life, you know, even your relationships, certainly your career. Oh, damn it. Hold on. I missed that. Oh, I can scroll back. Pantheism is that deity is everywhere, the universe, the molecules, exactly. Pantheism is deity is everything and also more. Yeah, I think deity is kind of everything, although I've never really considered the prime creator or whatever it is. I'm more concerned with the what I call the lesser gods, which would be the pantheons, like the Egyptian pantheon, Thoth, Isis, Horus, Hathor, the Norse, Odin, Freya, Loki. They're the ones that tend to come through on the mushrooms. And is that thing stopped again? It keeps stopping. That's it. So what have I written now? You know, this is my notes, guys, so, you know. Open to the universe. That's how I felt. I felt very expansive this morning. And unfortunately, because my weeds run out, I'm not feeling quite so expansive now. But it was just I had my last joint. I sat on the doorstep. The sun was beaming in. Listening to Graywolf just speak a whole lot of sense, like he always does. You know that Jesus Lucifer thing that you mentioned in one of your streams? I've actually had that thing as well, that idea. And funnily enough, I did a tarot reading for myself yesterday, just to kind of, just as a wee check, and it was a very interesting one. Queen of Cups was me, or maybe the person in question. Death was overlaid on that one. The Hanged Man was at 3, Valor at 4, Swiftness at 5, and the Lovers at 6. And I actually used the Lovers card as a kind of meditation today. It's a very difficult card to understand, the Lovers. But check this out. I think it's Nesash. It's Hebrew, so there's no vowels. Serpent in Eden, numerical value in the Kabbalah 358. Messiah 358. So in that Kabbalistic way, they are indeed. The serpent in the garden is the Messiah. What do you make of that? Also, I've been doing more work on the Ganesh remover of obstacles chant, which is just amazingly effective. That night when a certain other live stream was taking place, where mine and someone else's name was mentioned, I'd been doing that Ganesh remover of obstacle chants pretty much all day because I felt there was something coming. And it did come, and it came and went, and that's all I'm going to say about the matter. Yeah. Oh, hold on. The serpent gave free will unto man. Yeah, I totally believe that. The serpent is the initiator, the one who, like, it's the Promethean figure. It's the one who steals fire from the gods and gives it to man, like the fallen angels. They came down to earth and they showed us how to do, apparently, to use, the Watchers, use makeup and all kinds of sexy stuff. And that's in my mind, that's setting man free from the bondage of mind traps and slavery and slave gods and all that kind of stuff. And we're the first generation. Well, yeah, we are, because the older ones amongst us. I'm almost 50. A lot of us are around about that age. Sam, he's a prodigy at 27, and Omni, although I don't know him that well, I think he's younger as well, and he's a genius. There's so many geniuses around, you know what I mean? And it's all you guys, and I'm just privileged that you let me sit at the table. Isn't it fun? It's been a great summer. It's been fucking fantastic. Well, you are, Sam. You know you are. And you and David and me are forming this true magical order with only love in our hearts, because we've seen what it's done for us. It's been fantastic. And, we've never had a heat wave like this in Britain in living memory. We haven't had a day under, I know you use a different temp, I think you use Fahrenheit, don't you? We do. Everybody's got different little skills, and everybody, this is what I see it as. It's just like a round table on the esoteric, the weird, the wonderful. CW does his conspiracy stuff. Reemsy, you do your beautiful book reviews and your tarot stuff. Everybody's got their own little bag. Sam, Gnostic, Voodoo, me, sort of Golden Dawn magic, bits of Thelema thrown in there. I just chuck it all in. But I must say, I was this morning going to call the show New Age or New Aeon, because when I first kind of discovered spirituality, it was after it's a fantastic community, and I would be so lost without it, because, like I keep saying, I had isolated myself because all my friends were drug users, heavy drug users, and I loved them. And exactly, it's like a beautiful kind of weird curry with all sorts of weird stuff in it, like grapes and I was about to say salamanders, but I don't mean salamanders. I mean those little anchovies. You could have salamanders if you want, I guess. So where was I? Yeah. So when I first got into spirituality, because I was not, I'd read a lot about magic in my teens, but it was more like a sort of rebellious literary sort of thing. I didn't actually think that I would ever be able to do magic. I thought you had to be kind of a bit psychic or a bit fucking crazy to do it. But you absolutely don't. If you do, I guarantee anybody watching now or anybody watches this in the future, if you just watch a YouTube video on how to do the LBRP, and then you do the LBRP, is it chopping up badly there? Is it chopping up anywhere else? I mean, does distance matter when it's like, I know so little. I really do know nothing. And that's one of the things you also have to admit, that in the grand scheme of things, we may have little scraps of knowledge, but, do we know everything? Are we claiming to be world teachers? I think everybody is. Well, we're all definitely crazy, and we're all definitely a bit psychic. But like I say, you start doing even just the most basic, a breathing exercise, less a banishing pentagram ritual, and a middle pillar to kind of ground the energy, and then just to circulate it around your body, and you will notice massive changes in your life within about a month, say. So, you know, the neophyte grade will take you maybe about 6 months. I guess the zealot I like to take my time. There's an exercise called Body in Yetzirah, where you're kind of imposing yourself upon the tree of life. So Ashim, Malkuth's down at your feet. Cherubim, the moon, is at your genitals. Benai Elohim, which is Hod, Mercury, who obviously is associated with magic and Thoth. He's here, and you work your way up until you get to Keter, which is the, hey, Logos, how's it going, man? Glad you dropped in again. I can't believe all these highly intelligent, magicked up dudes are coming to my streams. But thank you so much for coming. So yeah, you, Logos, are part of this magical renaissance, I feel. And you like Renaissance magic, which is funny, but the YouTube thing that is happening now, which is like a democratization of everybody's got a voice. Nobody makes you subscribe. You subscribe to the people you like. You know, me with my 100 subscribers, I'm quite happy with that. I actually think I might cap it, and you know, this can be our little thing, and then I could maybe have another channel for other stuff, but it's just, yeah, well, when you know Reemsey's in the house, you scramble over there as quickly as you can, and I am totally honoured to have Reemsey here. Oh, you going, Glandel? So soon? God, I've been going for 47 minutes. I've said absolutely nothing. Yeah, they do. And do you ever really master them? I'm still not sure if I'm doing it completely right. Obviously, I'm getting results, so it must be right, but I still think it could be perfected and honed. And I think, you know, we kind of talked about this earlier, didn't we, that most modern magicians learn their chops from books. And books can be very vague in some points, you know. Even my textbook, I've got some, you know, with the Hebrew being written sort of backwards in a way, from right to left instead of left to right, and it doesn't explain things, and you say, okay, do I do this from the left? You know, some bits are confusing and need clarification, and you can usually go on to like a Golden Dawn page and get answers, but I don't want to go into all those Facebook pages. They're so fucking dull. So you just figure it out, but you do, you know, is it psychological? That was my my way of avoiding the mind traps. Was, it's okay, it's all psychological, there's nothing actually out there, it's all in here, so the worst thing that you're going to meet is yourself. But that's not, I think all models, the energy model, the spirit model, and the psychological model are all Israel Regardie, one of the greatest, he came after Crowley. You could say he was a Crowley disciple, but he was a psychologist, and he, although I find his books a little bit, you know, they're not as exciting as Crowley, but he knows his stuff, Israel Regardie. And he did write the book called, he's got a book called The Middle Pillar, hasn't he? And he's done lots of fantastic work on the Kabbalah as well. With the manual that I've got, which is Kabbalah Magic by Liam Thomas Christopher, he refers you to that big, fat, Golden Dawn book. I haven't got it here, but I've got it at home. And it's really, really big and really, really thick. And, you know, how anyone could read that Golden Dawn book and figure out what you're supposed to do, very hard. So that's why I like the Kabbalah Magic. It's the simplest, most stripped down, you know, just look at the size of some books. Donald Michael Craig's Modern Magic's like that thick and that big. Very good book, but I just think Kabbalah Magic puts it in such, you know, just each chapter is a grade. It's got your checklist, your extra projects, your absolutely required syllabus, and then if you really want to go for it, it's got extra stuff you can do. But still, I feel sometimes the Golden Dawn Magic is, especially in the elemental grades, you need a little bit of spice on top of it. Garden of Pomegranates, yeah, that's fantastic. I haven't actually read all of it. In fact, I don't think I've read any of Ricardi's books, but they're good to pick up and peruse. There is so much more information out there that's so accessible that, yeah, yeah. Everything. This is what I'm loving about YouTube at the moment. Everybody's talking about everything. You've got Glitch Bottle, you've got yourself, Logos, and Arla Sophia. You've got Rufus Opus, you've got Aaron Leach, you've got all these guys. Jake Stratton Kent is another guy that I've got a lot of time for. And the New Age mindset is, I used, my whole idea of how we could kind of build a modern magic was to take what I saw as the best ideas from the New Age and the best ideas from absolutely a little bit of sex magic. You know, sex is magic, isn't it? Especially when you haven't had it for 3 years and you just got a girlfriend. Woohoo! Hi, Melanie. I don't think she's watching. I haven't actually. I'm gonna sit her down and say, "Look, baby, this is me." But I'm kind of like me anyway now, you know. There's very little difference between Saroth and Steve Ray. I wish she was here, but she's not. She was actually seeing Django and another very cool band called Love Fest or something. They've got a really cool logo. It's like this, like the peace sign. They're very occulty, and she's very occulty. I mean, she thinks she found me by basically occult means. She thought I was dancing with her in a club 2 weeks ago. Well, not 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago now, when I was actually deep in gnosis. So I might have astrally projected to Drummond's, because that's probably where my astral body would go. It likes a drink. Drummond's is a pub club, been famous in Aberdeen for years. It's where all the crazy drunk people go. Oh, Darcy's in. Fantastic. The tribe's all here. So yeah, I seem to be, after being stuck in this addiction and this, when I got the job I was still just coming home, not contacting anyone. I had no friends apart from Jill Lato, and it was just, I felt, and I reached a crisis when I tried to come off the diazepam. I thought I was having a nervous breakdown. I was so dissociated that I didn't even realise that it was the Valium withdrawal that was making me feel so crazy. I thought I was just going insane, and the Valium were just a side issue. But and I just had a meltdown, and after that meltdown, I started, you know, it's like the crisis, the catastrophe, and you can either give in and die, or you can just pick yourself up, dust yourself down, and become Saroth the Mage, which is what I did, and it's worked for me. So that the heart and the hand and the eye form a magic triangle of creation. All happens. Fantastic. Enjoy. See the comments I get and stuff. They're just amazing. There's so much. Yeah. It's more than psychological. There are actual spiritual forces out there who definitely can be contacted and who will enter into communication with you. And you know, often I'm practicing and it'll just give me a little tip like, no, just move it a little bit over, just tiny little things, or just put that on the altar, or, and it's not coming from a book, it's not coming from my own mind. It's, do you think so? I think as usual it's badly prepared, badly presented, and it's not that great. But if you guys will enjoy it, what I like to do is just, I love to chat, and allowing you guys to come and chat here, called Gold by Israel Rigardi. No, I've never even heard of it. But you know, when I first came on to watching YouTube, all I could find, oh, thank you, David. I'm you know, I said it the first time I came on to CW's show that I'm not nothing. I'm just one of the chat that love. Hey, seven serpents. Yes. Now, see, when I watched your video last night, sir, I thought maybe you'll be like that in 2 years, Saroth, because the juggernaut thing, I love that, and you weren't going to be pushed off your path, and you were calm and collected, and you knew exactly what you were doing, and yet, I was angry and beating my chest and banging my gong and threatening and cursing and calling people names. That was undignified. And I watched it back and I thought, you just look like a fucking chimpanzee, man. I've won, blah, blah, blah. There was no victory there. It was all very sad, if you ask me. Just a complete farce in many ways. But, move on. So Rimsey, you got the knowledge, man. Will you come here more often, Rimsey, will you please? Will you be my pal? So yeah, Seven Serpents, masterful performance last night. I just love the Juggernaut thing, and I had it on when my friend Lato was with me, who's very reluctant to watch any of my stuff, which I feel a little bit, not my stuff, but like when I'm saying, oh, you've got to watch this guy Graywolf, and you've got to watch Rimsey, and you've got to watch this, and I think she might be a little bit tired of hearing about it, But I'm trying not to leave it out, We were magical partners and we have been from the start, but today our energies were just clashing, and that's why I remain silent all day. And the genie's out the bottle now and I'm allowed to talk again. And I think I will talk for another 3.5 hours. Is that okay? And nobody's allowed to leave. I know there's 14 people here. So if I say go down to 13, I'll find out who you are. Right, Sam told me to come here. Oh, thank you. Oh man, you subscribed. See, yesterday I noticed I'd been on 106 subscribers for ages, and then it jumped up to 111. I thought, ooh, 111, 111. And some of my views were at 111. It was 111 everywhere yesterday. And then it dropped down to 109, so maybe those two people didn't like what they saw. Well, like I say, I've still got another beer, so I'm in no hurry. It's one of the higher realms, however one wishes to label that. Yeah. These higher realms, I mean, what? It's so... Magic is baffling when you're in it. It's only when you get past that current working that you get any sort of perspective on it at all. It's kind of... I always compare it to like a slow acting psychedelic. It amplifies your thoughts. And it's all for the good, It may cause a little crisis here and there. Exactly, man. Beer is, I'm never going to be one of these guys that, oh no, I don't drink and I don't smoke because it affects my praxis and I want to be a pure channel and all that. I just want to have a good time. Magic's just like music or art. It's there to be enjoyed. It's a cultural thing. It's a thing we can share, we can talk about, and it's just so fucking fascinating. And you can never get through the whole thing, you know what I mean? It's such a massive system. It's been going for thousands. I mean, we don't know how long it's been going for. I mean, do we believe in Atlantis? I tend to be pretty skeptical about anything that I don't have direct experience of. I don't like taking things on trust. I think, oh yeah. And I mean, the Eleusinian mysteries and all that, they were brewing beer with, according to Terence McKenna, and it's his title, True Hallucinations, from his kind of bio documentary, but I put a question mark at the end, so that makes it mine. See this damn thing? You've got to press it 5 times and then it does that. Look. An empty grinder. Isn't that the saddest thing? Yeah. I haven't read that much Plato. I know that, the cave and all that allegory, but he was a major, major genius. At university, we were taught to kind of disregard Plato a little bit. You know, it was out of fashion, and you know, academics shouldn't really be interested in fashions. You know, intellectual fashions, should they? Oh, right, yes, of course, Atlantis. Yeah, he is one of the first. But was it? I don't know. I would have to read what he said about it. It's very. It's a nice idea, but I'm not convinced, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect my daily practice whether there was an Atlantis or whether there's, you know, one god or, you know, I just do the work, get on with it, and things just happen. It's an alchemical process. It is, and the the lab is your own body and your own mind. Absolutely. Well, the idea of Platonic solids, you know, pre-existing forms, is absolutely verified in nature, I think, because everything has that, you know, that Fibonacci sequence, and you know, it. I find a lot of literature mind-numbing, and you know, now that I've found YouTube, even, you know, I'm ashamed to say it because I was an avid reader as a child, and loved books all my life, and I want to build up my book collection again because they are beautiful things just in themselves. But if I do read now, it's usually a free PDF, and I just YouTube. I haven't watched a film, I haven't watched a TV series. I just come home from work, do my own magic, and then relax by listening to other magicians on YouTube. Glitchbottle being one of my favourites, Logos, who's right here, Rimsey, who's right here, Sam Shadowzone, who's right here, who interviewed Michael Aquino, for God's sake, and really got him to say a lot more than I've ever heard him say in any other interviews. I mean, how did you even get that interview, Sam? How did you manage to get a hold of the evil Satanist Michael Aquino, the baby eater? You should really stop eating those babies, you know. It can't be good for him. Symposium, yeah. Okay, second beer time, guys. It's Friday night. I hope you've got a little something for yourselves. Really? What? He commented on whose video? Sorry, I've given up any pretense of having a show, and I'm just going to talk to you, if that's okay. Wow. He is a very, very interesting man, and a very intelligent man. And I mean, the work that he did, I mean, I can't say it would have been pleasant work in Vietnam. You know, playing, what is it? He wrote his own kind of Necronomicon. He called it something else, didn't he? And he was always, yeah. I think all this. See, this is the stuff that CW's fighting against and others. It's this new age crazy pedophile Satanist. You know what happened to Patty Greer? She's been sued by Gaia because she went about calling them Luciferians. Not that there's anything wrong with Luciferians. I'd like to do another interview. What, you don't have access to a working phone, Sam? How are you talking now? Ah, yes, the Diablo. That's right. Yeah, is it based on Dante's Inferno? I can't talk tonight. The Book of Coming Forth by Night. Yeah. Computer. Yeah. Well, that's what I need. I need a 64-bit computer before I can get my Blue Yeti mic to work. And I typed in 64-bit computer. This thing came up, and I thought, wow, that's really cheap. I thought it was a laptop. Got it, and it was a notebook about this size. Plugged my mic in. Oh, it's gone green, it's working. And I tapped it like that, and I saw the green thing go up, and I was like, yes, phase 2 has begun. I did about 2 streams thinking that the mic was working, and you, Enjoy Being, said, I have to say I'm not noticing much of a difference in the quality of the stream. And then I thought, God, it looks worse than it did on my phone. It sounds worse than it did on my phone. And then I realised that the mic wasn't actually working. It was just a crappy little, Logitech C90 webcam that I had on my laptop. Maori Bird Lore by Murdoch Riley. Murdoch Riley seems to ring a bell. When I used to read novels, who is it I'm trying to think of? She wrote Alias Grace, and she's a brilliant writer. She also wrote The Handmaiden's Tale. Who am I thinking of, Rimsey? You're teetotal these days? Is that because you like the sauce a little bit too much? I mean, I've had, I wouldn't say alcohol problems. My real problem was with opiates, but you know, on and off I drink. It is absolute bullshit, and people have to know it. You know, I mean, is any magicians out there? Are you evil, Sam? Are you evil, Rimsey? Am I evil? Are you evil, David? Anybody here evil? Do we sacrifice people? Well, obviously occasionally on solstices and stuff, but they deserve to be sacrificed because they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. No, I don't think anyone's evil here at all. So I'm glad we settled that. Margaret Atwood, of course, that's Margaret Atwood. Yeah, she's fantastic. There's actually a better one than Alias Grace, and it's not The Handmaid's Tale, but I can't think of the name right now. Another book that I've been... see, I was going to do this book club. Rimsey, you would be the man for this book club. But, you know, I'm not the greatest organiser in the world, but I've got Sam, and I've got David, and I've got, you know, you guys. So we could do... I was thinking we should do a Crowley Fest one night, and everybody just, you know, a hangout, although I don't know how to do hangouts yet. I'm going to have to learn, because Sam's coming on for an interview soon. A hangout, maybe 4 or 5 people, and I think we're all polite and well-mannered enough not to be screaming over the top of each other, and, you know, and I think we'd have a sensible, intelligent debate. I thought maybe we would do Kenneth Grant, The Magickal Revival, John Fowles, The Magus. Have you read Crowley, miss? That's exactly, yeah, so it'd be like Crowley Fest, but I want people that don't like him, and I want people that do like him. And because he's such a, you know, there's so much fantasy been built up around this man. I mean, no disrespect to good Christian chaps like William Ramsay and that, but Prophet of Evil, 9/11? You really think that Crowley caused 9/11? That is the... Always ask the busiest man you know. Yeah. I'm the busiest man I know. So yeah, book club. Well, because they think he was a Satanist, they think he probably molested children, like all Satanists do. Not. They think he probably was involved in... I don't know. They just don't get it, do they? Yeah, I'd love to see your book collection, Rimsey. Honestly, it must be huge. I mean, I have owned a lot of books, but, you know, in hard times, they're the first thing to go because you think, well, I've already read it. I'm not going to really need it, am I? But it's one of the few regrets I have is selling some beautiful, beautiful books that I'll never get again. He was totally, you know, he was brought up by the Plymouth Brethren, and his whole work was a reaction against that. Oh no, well, okay, respect. I do think no one knows, and it doesn't matter for real. Yeah, yeah, exactly. We don't judge here. We're all just hanging out, friends. We've got no... It's broad daylight out there now. Looks at his watch, not wearing one because they're not magic. And that's another thing I was noticing. Last week, my sense of time was all over the shop. All my devices seemed to be telling a different time. I'd think it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon at work, and it'd be like 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Just, oh, it was like Mercury retrograde. I mean, I think possibly Mercury wasn't. See, yeah, that was too quick. Here comes the sun, do. I wonder if, I mean, it was a blazing hot day again today, but a weird day. Absolutely. When my little brother got me onto these, because I was quite a heavy smoker, well, you know, I still am if I've got the other stuff. But this kept me off the fags for 6 months. It was only when I started that job and the stress of it has all this staff smoking like chimneys that I got back into it, and I'm kind of doing both now. This is just for when I don't or can't. It's very handy for nipping at the toilet at work. Taking a huge hit and blowing it out. Nobody can smell it. You can smoke it on trains, planes, and automobiles. I didn't even know that Anton LaVey actually did any magic. I thought he was just kind of messing about a bit. I always, you read, oh, he was a showman. Did he? You've been well done. Enjoy being. No much wonder you're enjoying being. I mean, it is horrible stuff, tobacco. I do believe that American Spirit, without all the horrible chemicals and additives, is probably a bit better. My God, I've got 16 viewers, even more than I started with. That's crazy. 16 people live and 8 likes already. Who would have thought that this wonderful, wonderful things could be happening to little old me? But I just, like I say, I had been so closed off, and you mentioned this, Graywolf, as well, that it's not that you don't like people, but sometimes you just feel like you've got to draw away, especially my people who were crazy, drug addicted. I mean, they were nice people, but, drugs came first, second, third, fourth, and yeah, that's the, it's got no additives, and I don't think it's the tobacco that's the harmful thing. I think it's all the shit they put in it. Like, I mean, why do they even put formaldehyde and all that stuff in them? I don't know. So I think I will wrap up quite soon, actually, because that's daylight, and like I say, the vibes around here have been a little bit rocky. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Melanie when I get home. You can't beat a loving woman, guys. Like I said to my good friend Graywolf, a warrior needs a woman. And we do, after a hard day battling on the astral planes. Michael Ford, yeah, oh, is that the guy? He wears black all the time. See, for me now, he's very old school. I've noticed a lot. I like a lot of the Blazing Star OTO videos, but you'll notice a lot of their presenters are just, they always wear black, and love is the law, love under will, and there's something forced and a bit unnatural about it. He probably is, but oh yeah, Yode Vave. No, what? Oh yeah, because it goes back. Yeah, it goes from right to left. Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things that confused me when I was doing the banishing hexagram ritual. Is the book doesn't, it shows you the way. It's confusing, and also the way that he's done the body in Yetzirah, it doesn't actually show you that you have to imagine yourself looking out of the tree of life, not looking on it, because you've got to imagine, it's like if you're wearing a t-shirt with something written on it, you're not looking at it from there, you're looking at it from outside, so you're inside the tree looking out. So I'd been doing the body of Yetzirah backwards myself until I managed to realise that I'd been doing it wrong. And it didn't feel right. It did not feel right. That's interesting, Sam. It's like people turning the cross upside down and going, yeah. Peter was crucified upside down, was he? They crucified Peter? I didn't even know that. I have to say my knowledge of Christianity is somewhat lacking because, it was just anathema to me. The hypocrisy of getting dragged into church for a wedding and a baptism and maybe a Christmas service. We don't have religion like you guys do in America, the Bible Belt and all that, and the crazy preachers with their snakes and their televangelists. Right, guys, I hate to say it, I'm so enjoying this, but my phone is away to run out of charge, and I have been going for an hour 15. Oh, I've got such love in my heart for you guys, you know that? Can't we all just buy a house and live together? And it'd be like the monkeys that would be the magic monkeys. Can we? Well, it's just been me talking crap as usual. But if you guys like it, I'll keep doing it. The magic monkeys, yeah. Maybe that should be the name of our order. You know, let's not take ourselves too seriously, guys. And that's another thing. All this, everybody's so mega serious all the time. Ugh, give yourselves a little pinprick in that ego of yours. Ego! Oh my God, I didn't even get on to the subject of ego. Yes, my ego's been absolutely out of control lately. Especially with that event that happened the other night and the bloodless victory. I was like, wah! I caused it all. I'm sending cosmic ripples through the aether, and I've got them on the run, and it's me and my dog soldiers. I don't have any dog soldiers. Dog soldiers were Cheyenne warriors. There's a very interesting. Is Seven Serpents still here? Oh, and names policy. I love you because I don't see you in any other chats. I think you're just my fan and mine alone. Thanks, name policy. Yeah, we're doing this thing on Discord. It's a new group, and it's going to be totally magic focused, and we're going to try and do cosmic ripples. Yes, even cosmic nipples. My nipples are pretty cosmic, I must say. All 7 of them. Yes, 7. Do you have Native American blood by any chance? Because your calm manner and just, I really dig your show. I thought those 2 streams that you did last night were fantastic. Really, just so you were self-possessed, and that juggernaut thing that just gave me like little goose pimples. And Graywolf, you do it as well. So all you other guys that aren't making videos, Lone Warrior here, the branches as above so below are seeing the roots, the drip line of canopy is the target for the roots to see. That's the kind of genius you leave in my comments, and I love it. And you know, another person I thought those things were my chakras. They are, yeah. Cosmic nipples, baby. You know who else I like? And this is a weird thing, you know, with all the funny names, you never know if a lot of people you don't know if they're male or female, and sometimes you can't tell by their chat. And I wasn't sure. I thought Esoteric might have been a guy, but I've actually found out she's a really sweet girl. She makes funny, amusing, lovely videos, and she's a really nice person, so subscribe to her as well, although I don't think she's been making new videos, but I think everybody should make new videos. Yeah, you do, Sam. You need to get back in the ring, man. Well, your interview with me could be your jumping board for the next phase. Yeah, she is. She's a lovely, lovely human being. Okay, guys. I hate to go. You know, I wish I could just take you all into bed and give you a cuddle. Yeah, cuddle. I've got a girlfriend now, Melanie. She doesn't even care about my bad British teeth. I don't even know who Milo Stewart is. See, you have to remember I'm American. No, I'm British. You're American, and I don't watch TV, so I've got no idea who anybody is. I remember. I know you're President Jimmy Carter, and Muhammad Ali. Saw his last fight, knockout. I think I am. Oh, Milo. Oh no, it's not that alt-right dude, is it? That Milo Bulopoulos. You're in. Would you? Where? Where are you coming, names? You can buy me a beer. You can buy me several beers. You can get me drunk as fuck. As long as you don't take advantage of me. I'm pretty easy after a couple of beers, you know. Right, okay. It's been fun, and I think I've maybe restored some of my calm and peace of mind. Yeah. You know, Right, I'll give you my email address again. It's lowercase saroth222 at gmail.com. Contact me there, get me on Twitter at just Saroth the Mage. And let's get this magic group going. And what the idea is we'll have basically a kind of neophyte thing where people that are wanting to get into magic will Dundee. Well, that's like an hour down the road. I'm in Aberdeen, so names policy. Let's meet up in September and go for a beer in Dundee. That'd be fantastic. Who's from San Francisco? Sorry, I've forgotten what I was talking about. My phone might blink out because I'm getting the power warning, so I never can say goodbye, girls. Metallica are from San Francisco. You will. First week of September. That's not so far away, and you will find me. So Saroth222 at gmail.com. Saroth the Mage at Twitter. David, you can give your email if you want, or maybe you don't want to, but David's doing a lot of the organising for the group because I simply don't have time. I'm too important leading my band of dog soldiers into victory. So, yeah, me, David, Sam is going to get involved as well. Oh, Presidio, yeah, that thing that Douglas Dietrich used to speak endlessly about. Yeah, the Discord. I know nothing about technology and that, and I can't even remember how I found Discord. I think you just install the app and log in, register, and then you just get a name, and then you give it to us, and then we'll find you. So if you do want to start doing just basically LBRPs, breathing exercises, some basic kind of meditations, and then hopefully some of us will go on to try other things. I desperately want to try Liber Samek, but it's a very complicated ritual. And, the people that know, we can share information. It'll be like a magical exchange, and we'll all just love and be happy. It's a social media app, yes, but it's so not Facebook. It's not even Twitter. It's just a cool place to hang out. We're not going underground. I will never, not in the foreseeable future, leave YouTube. Why would I want to do that? All my best friends are on, and I really mean that. I mean, I don't have many real friends, but I've got you guys, and you are all I need because you are the creme de la creme of the new initiatory current that's sweeping the globe. I truly believe that, I do. Okay, guys, at 1:23 and 40 minutes, yes, please do Seven Serpents. I don't think you're so self-contained, and I don't think you're a joiner, but maybe you are. Maybe, because we'd love to get some of your, I love the way you mix Taoism with sort of traditional hermetics, and, we've all got good shit to share. Good shit to share. Okay, the arm chants have stopped. The beer's running out. I've got no weed, and my battery's away to pop, so now would definitely be a good time. Oh, Hildegard von Bingen, by the way. German mystic. Check her out. She's done some fantastic work. Oh, the last thing I'm going to say is Lato, the reasonable feminist that she is. When I took my vow of silence, she thanked the goddess and said, "God is a woman today. She's heard my prayers. Saroth is actually going to shut up." Hey, Madfinger, how's it going, man? You just got me at the end. Are we at peace now, Madfinger? I think so. I think it was all just a storm in a teacup. Blame the blood moon. Blame Mars. Certainly don't blame Saroth or Seven Serpents. And with that loving and kind thought, Saroth is going to bed. But I get so excited I can never sleep. Yeah, just get Discord up and send Saroth email, saroth222@gmail.com. Om. 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 Good night, Sam. Good night, Robert. Good night, David. Good night, Darcy. Good night, Reemsy. Good night, Robin. Good night, Enjoy Being. Good night, Alex. Good night. Have I forgotten anybody? Pyramid 7. Names Policy, who I'm going to be meeting for 10, 20, 30 beers. All on him. Or her. I Walk. 7 Serpents. Graywolf, you still here, brother? And by the way, please subscribe to Graywolf. Thank you, Robin. Thank you all. Love you so much. You should. Everybody should make their own videos. Right, low battery. I'm out of here, guys. Love you. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.